morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. Welcome to the East Stand Voice. Now, I do not know what to say, but I knew I had to come on here and say something, because can somebody out there explain to me what the hell happened yesterday against Bournemouth? I need you guys to tell me what happened, because I'm just not prepared to sit and watch complete and utter nonsense week in and week out from a team that I do actually have belief in. I do believe can achieve, with the right manager, of course. The rot starts from the top. Now, there's so many people out there that disagree with me, not a problem. But there's a lot of people that actually do. The rot starts from the top. The dysfunction is from the top. I am sorry, but Levy and Lewis, they have taken the club as far as it can go. So, in my opinion, I would say thank you, Mr. Levy. Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for your services to Tottenham Hotspur over the last 22 years. But I think now is the time that you need to hand over the keys to the stadium to somebody else that can bring it forward. Because clearly, and unfortunately, neither of you can. That's the simple crux of it. We have evolved so much in football. This is no longer the 1960s, people. Stop with all this nostalgia and reminiscing of, how football, all the good old days of football. I used to love it. I used to go down White Hart Lane and only pay £5 for my ticket to go on the terraces. Yes, I know. They were the good old days of football. They were. It was all about the fans and the players. And, there wasn't all this money in the game. I totally get it. And I really do appreciate your memories. I really do. Of course, I used to pay peanuts to go to White Hart Lane myself. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't going in the 60s. I was merely a twinkle in my mother's eye then. Do you know what I mean? I didn't even go in the 70s, and neither did I go in the 80s. I started going in the 90s. And yes, it was cheap as chips, but football has changed. Football is about one thing and one thing only, and that is money. And that is something that we do have at the club, but our owners are not prepared to splash out on the football team. Now, I'm sorry, but it is my belief that Daniel Levy needs to step aside or move on, and ENIC need to sell their majority of shares. We need management in that club that is going to come in and is going to appreciate all the partnerships that have been set up by Daniel Levy, who I will say is a good businessman. I'm not going to take that away from him. I am not going to say that that man is not a good businessman. That man is a good businessman. He has set up a hell of a lot of partnerships for the new stadium, right? Give him his due, give him his respect for that. But in terms of the football side of things, he clearly does not give enough of a damn like we the fans do. We the fans want football as a priority. Unfortunately, Mr. Levy does not. Okay? He's fantastic. We have rugby, NFL, Beyonce, Wizkid, Red Hot Chili Peppers, boxing. It's a home ground for Fury and, whoever else wants to box at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And we have go-karts. Yes. Do you know what I mean? And now, if that's what we're going to be praising about Tottenham Hotspur, is the fact that we have go-karts. Come on, people. Can you not see where the problem lies there? Can you not see? We should be thinking about what amazing signings we can make for our club to enhance our defence. Or what defence, I should say. We should be thinking about our midfield. And we should be thinking about having to replace Harry Kane. we have to replace that guy. Do you know what I mean? Because he's either going to leave or he's getting older. He's coming to transition towards the end of his playing career. You know, fantastic. Love him. But we have to face reality. There is a possibility that he will go. We need to be focusing on rebuilding the team so that we can compete. But when you have a board that is not prepared to invest in the team to the levels of how other teams are investing, there's absolutely no way that we compete. Now, people keep saying, oh, it ain't about the money. It ain't about the money. Do you know what I mean? It's all about a good team and a good manager being able to come in and, do you know what I mean? But no. I'm not dismissing that, because we can see with what De Zerbi has done at Brighton. We can see what Emery's done with Villa. Yeah, we can see all of that. But what I'm saying to you is that the expectation from the board and from many of us as like fans is that Tottenham compete, right? And we compete at the highest level. And when I say competing at the highest level, that is qualifying from the Champions League every season, okay? That is finishing at the top half of the league, right? Be it 1, 2, 3, not fighting for fourth, 1, 2, 3. That is a really good cup run, at least getting to the semi-finals. That is a really good Carabao run. Do you know what I mean? So in order for us to sustain our team, sustain the growth that is necessary for us to be able to compete at the highest level with the teams that have all that money, we need a board that will say, okay, we are going to invest in our team. We are going to back our manager. I hope you all out there realise, right, we have Man City. We have Manchester United currently in the process of being bought. We have Newcastle. We have Arsenal. We have Liverpool. Right? And they are all vying for the top spot. Right? They are all vying. Oh, and sorry, I forgot. We got Chelsea. It's easy to forget Chelsea after their current run of results, but who are we to talk? But so there's six clubs will be vying for those 4 spots every single season. Those 6 clubs, right, they will ensure that they invest in their teams to basically ensure that they get one of those 4 spots every single season. Right? How on earth can we compete with that when we have a board that won't always back their manager? Now, I know I know what's going to come. Oh, yeah, but they backed Antonio. But did they back Poch when they needed to back Poch, when Poch was flying high? Did Levy back Poch when Poch was flying high? No, he did not. He did not back Poch enough. And now we are suffering the consequences of not backing Poch when Poch should have been backed. We are now, these are the consequences of that, because now Antonio's come in. We know that guy's a proven winner. But the problem is we have an aging team and not a very good team. He's come in, he wants skilled players. He wants players that already know what they're doing to come on, win. Because from the top, Levy has told him he wants Champions League spot. Because how much money is generated from the Champions League? How much money? We all know how much money is generated, which is why Levy brought him in. Let's make sure that we get the 4th spot. Okay, at the very least. I don't care about anything else. We got to get the Champions League spot. Okay, Conte's come in. Okay, if you want Champions League, you have to give me what I want. It might not be what you wanted out there, but that's what Conte wanted. Okay, so Tell me what's going to happen next season, the season after, as Newcastle gets stronger and stronger, more money has been spent. Man City, Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal. Can you tell me out there what is going to happen to Tottenham if Daniel Levy and Joe Lewis refuse to spend money on world-class quality players to strengthen our squad and to strengthen our squad and also a rebuild, because that's essentially what we need. We need to rebuild. We need a decent academy where we're feeding players from our academy into our squad. Now, we have the best training facilities in the world. The best! But what are we making of it? I want to cry. I want to cry. And I'll see you in part 2. Okay. Pull yourself together. Okay. Pull yourself together, girl. However hard it is. So we may have the best stadium in Europe. And we may have the best training facilities. But if we don't have the best team, what the hell is the point? You get me? What is the point? I don't see the point in it. There is no point. We go there every single weekend or weekday that they're playing at home, and it's just the same old nonsense, right? The rot is at the top. We cannot... going forward, we will not be able to compete with what I see as the top 6. We just won't be able to do it. We can't attract the players. We can't attract the managers. So tell me, what can we do? Because at the end of the day, just say, I'm not saying get your knickers on and your pants. I'm not saying Jude Bellingham. We want Jude Bellingham, and Jude Bellingham is coming to Tottenham. I'm just using it as an example. So, Liverpool, Man U, Newcastle, Tottenham put in for Jude Bellingham, right? Who is the first club that Jude Bellingham is going to reject? It's going to be Tottenham. Do you know why? Because we're not about winning at Tottenham. We're not about winning. We're not about winning, are we? 22 years and 1 cup. So we're not a winning club. We're not a winning club. So you tell me, what quality, high-class player, elite football player will want to sign for a football club where the board says, you know, the attitude from the board is, oh, well, as long as you finish 4th, that's all we care about because we want the Champions League money. Oh, well, the manager wants this player, that player. You know, the manager wants us to back him, but you know what? Nah, we're not going to bother to back, you know. We're going to, we're going to tell the fans that, oh, yeah, we got so much stadium debt, so much that we have to pay that off. And we'll make excuses after excuses. Oh, yeah, I know what we can do. Let's freeze season ticket prices, because then the fans will be like, oh, they're so sweet thinking about us. Come on, guys, don't fall for the crap. Please, I'm begging you, do not fall for it. Hold Levy and ENIC accountable for the mess that is going on at our club right about now. It is a mess. It is just tragic. It is worse than a Shakespearean play, what is happening at Tottenham Hotspur right this moment in time. And we are sitting back. And what are we doing? What are we doing about it? What are we doing about it? Because I crossed the road to the protest yesterday. There was about 6 of us stood there whilst everyone was queuing up for the shop and taking pictures of the stadium and, you know, really, oh yeah, can't wait to get inside. So tell me what we can do to stop this. Tell me what we can do to get investment in quality players, to attract quality players to attract a damn manager. We haven't even got, oh my God. We haven't even got a manager. Every other club, right, that sacked their manager or their manager left on mutual consent, they've like filled their vacancy. The only club that hasn't filled their vacancy is like Tottenham. Like, we don't have a manager. Stellini, who was on Conte's team, and Ryan Mason, these two are battling to try to get us into the top four, to get us into the Champions. I'm sorry. Sorry. I can't see you back in the third part because I can't deal with this anymore. I can't.